Hello, first tonight, the nurse who was clamped on duty and then told it would cost hundreds of pounds to get the car released.
When Hannah Bannock pulled up to visit an elderly patient in Essex yesterday, she put an NHS permit on display, stating who she was and why she was there. She came out to discover she'd been clamped. It would cost her £300 to release it, plus £50 for every extra half hour she refused to pay. The government has today said it will ban clampers from operating on private land.
District nurse Hannah Bannock drives around Essex doing home visits. But a recent round came to a stressful and surprising halt, courtesy of a zealous wheel clamper.
So you could see me in my uniform. I said to him, you know, I'm a district nurse, I need to see. I've got at least another sort of 6-7 patients I need to see around the district. He wasn't bothered at all. He basically just said, phone the number that's on your car. And the lady on the phone basically just said it'll be £350 for them to release the clamp.
It happened in this resident's car park in Clacton. And Iris Griffin is the patient Hannah Bannock was treating when the clampers struck. What do you think about the fact that they clamped her car and she's a nurse?
Oh, no. Well, I'm afraid I'm one of the old kind. You don't do things like that to nurses. They're good. They work hard.
Most clamping companies, if there is a total ban, will more than likely resolve and refer to parking tickets, which is not ideal because there will be a process of where people refuse to pay the tickets. I mean, they will pay in the end because they'll be taken to the civil claims court and video and photographic evidence will be provided against them and presented to the judge.
I tried to contact South East Clamping and Associates. We were hoping to speak to somebody about what happened in Clacton yesterday. But the Essex-based company said it had no comment to make. The government's banned clamping on private land. Hannah Bannock admits she should have had a permit, but she welcomed the ban if it allows people like her to do their jobs without fear of being clamped. Gareth George, BBC Look East.
We're staying with the issue of parking because across the region the cost is going up. In Chelmsford, car park charges went up 3% in April, netting the council an extra £140,000. In Northamptonshire, some residents have seen the cost of their permits go up 7 times, from £50 to £350. The council says it will only affect a small amount of people and it's the first increase in 4 years. In Luton, residents will see an increase of 2.9% by next year, whereas in Milton Keynes, the council is starting to charge for more than 2,000 spaces, which have been free, as Joe Black reports.
Some say that in Milton Keynes, the car is king, but the spaces where those cars get parked are changing. The town has over 21,000 bays, and currently 5,000 of those are free. But in the new year, that will be no more.
And that's because the status of bays is changing. So some of the free spaces, like these ones marked in green, will become standard spaces. And in turn, some of the standard bays will go up to become premium bays.
The move will generate £2.2 million for the council.
I know the parking rates aren't changing, but you are changing the status of the bays. So some people will still see this as a rise.
Some people may perceive it as a rise. To me, it's about being fair. At the moment, many of our lowest paid workers arrive at Milton Keynes after they've dropped off the children at school, with childcare. They come to Milton Keynes to work and all the free parking spaces have gone. And there's a perception that it's those who are on far higher incomes, arrive early, don't have those responsibilities and they're pinching all the free parking.
Parking charges in Milton Keynes are relatively cheaper than other parts of our region, so many drivers here aren't surprised by the change.
I can remember when they said they will never ever charge for any car to park in central Milton Keynes shop. You will never ever be charged. How things have changed.
It's the employees I feel sorry for, the ones that work here. They've got to come here every day and earn a living. They don't get paid a huge amount for being shop assistants.
I think it'll put a lot of people off if you have to start
will.
paying,
I think
to be
it
honest.
probably will, yeah.
Because I won't come as much.
In the next 3 years, the council must save £46 million. But money generated from parking is ring-fenced for improvements to highways. But whichever pot it's going to, the fight for a cheap car parking space has just got tougher. Joe Black, BBC Look East.
And if you've been affected by clampers or changes to your parking, we'd like to hear from you. You can email us, look.east@bbc.co.uk, or you can call us on 08457 630 630.
10 people are reported to have been injured after a collision on a railway crossing in Suffolk. It happened at about 5:30 this evening on the line between Marks-Tay and Sudbury near Little Cornard. A diesel with 2 carriages hit a lorry on the crossing. The fire service was first on the scene. 2 people are thought to be seriously injured. We will, of course, bring you more information as soon as we get it. Well, last night we heard that high-tech industries could be helping this region to recover from the recession. The biggest concentration of eco-business in Britain is actually in Peterborough. In a moment, why the rest of the region should follow in their footsteps. But first, this report from Stuart Ratcliffe.
This is Midas Technologies, one of hundreds of green businesses across Peterborough. It's developing refrigeration units powered by solar panels, domestic electricity generators, but its main product is a pressurised water pump, designed to make the distribution of water across the country more efficient, as it uses less power, helps reduce leaks and therefore reduce water consumption.
We have the units in 10 of the water companies, obviously throughout the UK. Been over to France and we're talking to a valve manufacturer over there who are doing their own trials on the device.
And many of these businesses have received help and advice here at the Peterborough Eco Innovation Centre. It's home to 37 companies and it's looking to grow.
We're full and we're having to expand. We're looking at developing new sites. So it shows that there is a need for these type of centres.
The centre has directly supported 64 businesses, and across Peterborough there are now 360 environmental companies, providing more than 5,000 jobs. But many of these companies aren't new, they're simply moving with the times.
A lot of these organisations have now diversified into the environment sector. There is a lot of manufacturing going on, building parts for renewable energy technologies, for water technologies, and this will grow as more and more solutions are required.
And this Fenland field will soon house the most visible sign of Peterborough's green revolution. Approval has been given for a massive recycling centre. Controversially, it also includes an incinerator, but its supporters insist it will provide clean, green energy, and it's attracting global interest.
If we take the Chinese involvement, the state government has been here twice to see Peterborough and to see Prell with how they can take what we're doing in the UK, that's Peterborough, to China and their communities. It is seen now as a hub for renewables and carbon reduction companies.
This city can now boast the largest collection of green businesses in the UK, supporting the City Council's aim to be named as Britain's environment capital. Stuart Ratcliffe, BBC Look East, Peterborough.
Well, James Beale, the Managing Director of Renewables East, joins us now. Now, I know you're based in Peterborough too. Obviously, that's where a lot of this is happening. But what are you doing across the region to promote renewable energy?
Well, we're doing a number of activities. One thing that we run out of Peterborough is the Resource Efficiency East programme. It's not just about renewable energy, it's about reducing your energy waste and water usage. For a business, it saves you money. For me and my public funders, it saves carbon. It's good for the environment, good for the economy.
How open do you find businesses in our region to doing this kind of thing?
Well, we're working with 500 businesses and that hasn't been easy. We've had to do a lot of advertising and small businesses, please look at the website to see how we can help you. But what we're seeing coming out of Peterborough are great companies and what we're doing is just looking to accelerate and push it further and replicate Peterborough's success across the region. Another programme we're running here is Angling Go Warm. What we're doing there is we're visiting houses, we're installing cavity wall and loft insulation, and in 500 of them we're putting in air source heat pumps, accelerating renewable energy, getting more people trained in the industry and creating more wealth.
We're still lagging behind Europe in a lot of areas and green industry, aren't we? Why is that? Have we still got a long way to go?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I think the latest stats show that apart from Luxembourg, everyone else is beating us in renewable energy stakes. But that means we've got a lot of things to do, a lot of new opportunities. And here the Eco Innovation Centre is a great example of that. I've been in the region 6 or 7 years. For the first 4 years, we were talking about this centre. Eda and Peterborough City Council had the vision, delivered it, and it's already full up and it's looking to grow. You know, these are opportunities that require in sort of Kevin Costner terms, that, you know, build it and they will come. This is an industry that is growing. I'm recruiting people at the moment. There's lots of people looking to come into this industry, and it's an industry looking for good new people.
And briefly, you are one of the only organisations to receive government funding who isn't getting a cut in government funding. Is that a sign of how important the government thinks this is?
I think every statement you've heard out of this new government has reinforced how important the green economy is. There are opportunities for new jobs, for new economic growth, but also, you know, it's about using less energy. It's doing it more efficiently and then increasing our amount of renewable energy. So wherever you look in this sector, there are new opportunities, new businesses setting up, and if you need a job, a new opportunity, you should be looking at this place and the industry to take forward your career.
James Beale, thank you very much.